Hello, this is Pibster Pew Pew again. It's been a while. It's my ICC 10 Sindragosa kill vid. This is the first time I actually have DPS'd on this boss. Um, I haven't been in the 10 man for about 2 weeks now. Before I had to heal because we were lacking healers, but this time I came in as DPS. I wasn't actually quite sure what I was supposed to do, but I figured out when chilled to the bone comes up in big letters I should stop attacking. So I did. Don't know whether that works, but hey, we killed it in the end. So yeah, does chill to the bone obviously when you hit him. That basically means you get a stacking dot. Every now and then he'll do blistering cold, like it is now. You have to run away from that, otherwise you take lots of frost damage. The casters get a buff that every time you cast you get a stacking debuff for 30 seconds, and when that debuff runs out you take a big chunk of damage. Alright, phase 2 is, well, phase 2 is a little more of a transition sort of phase, but yeah, two people get ice blocks, gotta stand behind them, kind of like in Saffron, apart from it's not quite. You gotta stay behind them for longer, you gotta DPS them down. Gotta make sure that they don't die though before he's cast 4 frost bolts, you can see. Otherwise you take lots of damage from that, most likely die. That's the 4th one, kill down the ice blocks. Lands again. It's actually the first time as well I've killed him, having him tanked in this spot using the stairs. Otherwise, yeah, it's mostly down in the middle we've done it. But if you're up on the stairs, you don't have to run around the ice blocks because you're only going to get the frost bolts from one direction. So it's like phase 1 again, exactly the same thing. DPS, don't go over chill to the bone 4. Well, I think it's 4. You know, some might went up to 5 there. I was just testing out sort of how far I could go. Blistering cold. Run back in. DPS again. I think it's this time I actually realised, because I'm an enhancement shim and I've got spells as well, so when I get Blistering Cold 4 I could just start casting spells and it wouldn't affect me to increase my DPS. Yeah, do a lava burst there, it just taken off so it wasn't all that effective. Still, transition phase 1.5 again, 2 ice blocks. There you get ice block like that, gotta run behind them, DPS them down a bit, wait for the frost bolts. Pretty boring fight until you get to 35% actually. That's when it really hits the fan. I'd say it's much easier though actually to DPS, melee DPS on here than it is to heal. Healing was like way harder. Especially if you got the debuff that you take damage after casting spells. Especially when it gets chained on you. It's very frustrating. Yeah, not really much happening. Getting him down. I think he goes to 35% this phase. So we got a fairly decent DPS on him. If you look at the recount, my DPS is pretty low, but I think that's I didn't reset it because just did Dreamwalker and I was healing on that, so my overall damage will look bad. Alright, hit 35%, he started doing arcane debuff, buff it, something like that. Basically you need to stand behind these ice blocks that he now casts on people at random to remove it, and DPS have to DPS them down as well. Pop heroism there, It's actually being shouted out on TeamSpeak to do it, but I couldn't quite hear them. I think I had music playing or something. But yeah, eventually pop hero, stand behind ice block, debuff runs off, which is good. Don't think you should go any more than 6 arcane debuffs, otherwise you take a lot of damage. Still does blistering cold in this phase. The tanks have to switch every now and then, otherwise their arcane debuff will go up too high. Behind the ice blocks, kill it again. Keep up DPSing. Of course, you're still getting chilled to the bone in this phase, but you're not DPSing the boss all that much for it to stack up too high, because you've got to keep switching to the ice blocks to drop your debuff and get people out. Switch tank again, go to the ice block, kill the ice block. Yeah, this phase is really tough for the healers, because there's so much damage going on. A couple of people died, I think. One of our rogues almost died there, but he got ice blocked, which is kind of useful, so I could time a maelstrom weapon to heal him just as he got out. 11k crit there, it's pretty nice. Him out of the ice block. Someone else got ice blocked, so I went straight over to him to get him out. I got a frost beacon. Went over to the position, but our GM is actually standing too close to the position, so I had to go a bit to the side, but it's still too close. I ended up killing him. Oh well. And the boss died. Yeah. Pretty nice loot for me actually. 2 male items, the only male user, some DPS boots, some caster shoulders. Though I actually thought those shoulders were DPS for a while, so I was like comparing the stats to mine and not actually realising that it was spell power, not attack power, like a tard. Eventually I realised and need on them. Just so you know, not ninjaing. Our rules in 10-man are need if you need, greed if you greed, off spec. Unless there's no one else who needs it off spec, then you may as well just need it. But yeah, not ninjaing. Just following the rules. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah. Vote, rate 5 stars, and comment if you want. Tell me anything you thought was good, anything you thought was bad. Yeah, feel free to say it was rubbish if you want, you know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next vid.